We cross over it every day. It's an overlooked part of history. Not grand or world-renowned like Tower Bridge, but it's just as important to us. I don't even know when it was built, but there would have been no need for it until 1765 when the Bridgewater Canal came through Sale. All of Sale would have been farmland then, and the Bridgewater Canal would have made it an even more important place for growing, both in terms of farmland and population. Along with farming, by the 17th century, Sale had become a weaving community. There was a thriving cottage industry, making garth web, the woven material that horses' saddle girths were made from. You know, the part that attaches the saddle or wagon to the horse. The flax and hemp that they used were both grown locally. A bit like having a factory that produces crucial car parts today. Would there have been some kind of crust or something up there? It's difficult to imagine Sale without the Bridgewater Canal and the Sale Bridge. Back then, all along here would have been farmland. People might have had houses over here and their barns over there. They probably lost land, or at the very least easy access to it. I imagine they had little barges or boats to get to the other side in the beginning. That would have been a massive inconvenience, but in the end the easier access to Manchester would eventually outweigh that. But all those stories are lost in time. The arrival of the railway in 1849 triggered Sale's growth as a commuter town for Manchester, leading to an influx of middle-class residents. By the end of the 19th century, the town's population had more than tripled. Agriculture gradually declined as service industries boomed. Sale Station opened on the 20th of July, 1849. So the bridge would have been there then, because the station is built on the bridge. So where has the fat controller gone? Our man in the top hat. Is he wearing a top hat? I don't know, I don't remember, I don't have the photo with me. I know you could see the clock. Something like that maybe? Have I reproduced it from memory? So the fence there is the end of the modern platform. You can see the platform was much longer back in the day. The trains were much longer then. And there's our stop plank crane right next to the Sale Bridge. If you haven't seen that already, check that one out. The first time I walked under here, I noticed that at some point the bridge had been widened. In 1876 there was a proposed extension of the bridge, but I don't know if this was the one that eventually happened in 1912, 1913, when the bridge was widened. This is Sale Bridge before it was widened. It's Chapel Road to the left and Northern Road ahead. This is supposed to be 1912. And then in our next photo we have after it was widened in circa 1914, and if we zoom in, there's our radium sign that inspired this video. So here on the Brooklyn side of the Sale Bridge, we have kind of cast iron and arched brick construction in this first part. Little pigeon home. They don't seem to mind the spikes. This is where they store their canoes that you can rent. And the second part of the bridge is brick construction in the central part. Arched brick. And then moving further on, we see a third type of construction, which is poured concrete. So it looks as if it's been widened twice. And we'll just head down Britannia Road and see if we can see those arches. And you can see the King's Ransom butts right up to the railing along the bridge here now. So maybe those archways are now part of their storage. So this is the narrowest pavement I've ever walked on, or sidewalk as I call it. You should hear how we pronounce aluminum. Until I come over here, I think this one's even narrower. Is this a sidewalk? Is this a pavement? Is this the pavement? So I'm just going to walk down here a little further, but I'm fairly certain there'll be no way to get near the tracks to see those arches and what that photograph is. We'll see if we can see that. I don't think we're going to be able to see that at all. There's a gate here. I've never been down this far before. So there is a way onto the tracks, but probably not for me. Yeah, it's locked. So there is a nice gateway here to the tracks, the tram tracks now, but the Manchester South Junction and Altrincham Railway at the time. Aha! I think I see somewhere where we might be able to see the arches. So this section of bridge is not arched. Flat cast iron, I would suspect. The arches are closed in on this side, and you can see ventilation and windows. I guess they are accessible to the King's Ransom from the other side. These next two photos are not dated, they're just circa 1900, but they definitely look as to be before the bridge was widened, and the little girl or little girls weren't there. And I don't think that's the same tree either. You can see the arch is just there. That one looks like it has some kind of something closing it in. And this one here, you can just see the top of it. So this is the King's Ransom. Lovely pub. And indeed it is. This is storage for the King's Ransom. So we're on the other side now. It's the cave. So this would have been the newer part of the bridge. 1913. And there's all that Manchester red stone. Red sandstone, is it? This photo is labeled Sail Station Arches of Approach Road to Coal Wharf, adjoining station. So it appears that these arches went to the other side, to the railway, and they would bring coal from the Bridgewater canal to the railway, or vice versa. And you can see there's a siding on the other side if we look through Mr. Topham Hat here. Well, there's no posters here today, except for Grip Adventure. So I guess we think of this bit of sail as the hilly bit, but it's not that way naturally, is it? All of this was dragged here one wheelbarrow at a time. And this is my absolute favorite photo of Sail Station. Gotta make me one of those wheelbarrows. And the station is looking great here. And this photo is almost like a carbon copy. This postcard and photo. And there we have a tram, trolley, what do you call those things? Streetcar. Unfortunately, most of the interesting photos are taken from the bridge rather than of the bridge. So we'll take a look down Northenden Road here for reference. So it's believed that the first pneumatic tire bicycle race took place down here somewhere. And in a lot of these photos you can see the Sale Presbyterian Church, the junction of Northenden Road and Woodlands Road, built in 1874. There's School Road down there. You can find me down there on the third Sunday of the month, the Sailmakers Market. It is Remembrance Day today, lest we forget. So the next couple of photos are from the bridge looking towards School Road. And here we have one of the earliest photo bombs ever. And it's the members of the Women's Junior Air Corps marching in the Salute the Soldier parade held outside the town hall in Sale in 1944. And I include it here because there's a film camera there. So there's footage of this looking the other way somewhere. And yep, the Brooklands Bridge was widened as well. But that's the subject of another video.